Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of the Blank Canvas Show. This is episode 4. As you can see on my right, your left, if you're listening, I got my man NUMBZ here with me to just kind of go through this episode, man. We got a lot of cool stuff ahead for you, man. But before we begin, just want to make sure that if y'all listen to the Blank Canvas Show for the first time, if you into it as far as music, little bit of sports here and there, and just kind of that background banter in terms of from an artist perspective, production perspective, engineers. We'll have all those sorts of people on if that's something that you want on an independent level and that you're interested in. You're more than welcome to like, share, subscribe. Make sure you tell a friend to tell a friend. Again, that's Blank Canvas Show. We're on audio formats wherever you listen to podcasts, and we're also on YouTube as well. Follow me at _BK Show. You get all the updates from there. So now that that's out the way, man, NUMBZ, welcome to the show. I don't know how many times this is at this point, man. How you doing, man?
I'm good, man. I think it's like I don't know, maybe third or fourth time or something. But yeah, happy to be on the Blank Canvas Show, man. The rebrand looking real tough, man. First couple episodes are really good. So salute to you. Thanks for having me.
Appreciate it, man. So just up front, everybody, if you're listening, watching, again, we're going to talk about creative burnout or burnout, rather, just amongst creatives. Talking to this man, if you know his 2023, it lists a lot of production, a lot of rapping, and he's added some merch, and he's always rolling stuff out, live shows. So he had a pretty busy 2023 and seemed to handle it seamlessly. But we'll get into how he's managed that. It's a lot of things going on. I know wife, kids, all of that stuff.
For sure.
Primary job. So, and managed to do all that. So we'll kind of get into that. Also, we have, the importance of building trust, relationships with other artists, with other creatives, how far that can go in determining how much motion you really have. And that's really on the indie level, and just in all phases of life. And then we'll also be talking about just our top 5 artists, maybe some bench players. NUMBZ and I are both huge basketball fans, so we wanted to incorporate something kind of cool to give our top 5 and kind of give you the why we're choosing a point guard, shooting guard, small forward. We're going to kind of give you that, so hopefully that entertains you. And last but not least, we'll definitely get into MARVIN Chronicles EP, which he just dropped. What was that, in early November?
October 20th.
It's late October. So 5-track EP, really dope, ode to MARVIN. And we'll get into that. I mean, MARVIN there's only one MARVIN. Y'all know what an ode to MARVIN.
Yeah, you already know.
You don't even need to say the last name, man. But it's Marvin Gaye for you slow folk out there, man. But so, man, where do you want to get started first, man? Creative burnout, man. With so much music you've dropped in production, I had a long list here. I won't name them all, man, because there's a lot of people you work with individually and project-wise, man. How do you maintain that output with so much that you do on the music side?
Coming into this year, what I really wanted to do is drop one LP, which I did with Trifecta, and I planned on doing that. And MARVIN, I ended up doing Spontaneous Flows, which was just a 3-pack. I made a couple beats that I really liked, wrote them really quickly. So on the rapping side, I mean, I put out 18 songs. I don't think that's a lot, you know what I'm saying? But I think it's so much more when you add in the production, and it makes me a lot busy. I love the production side of it because it gives me a break from rapping. You know what I'm saying? Like, I actually don't even write a lot. Like, I've done some features and things like that recently, but I haven't written a song in 4 months. You know what I'm saying? The last song I wrote was Feel Like for Furious Styles album, and I wrote that in like July, I believe. Other than that, I've been doing verses. As you know, we could get to it later, me and Rome Mallory finishing up an album, but that's different than writing full songs. That's just like, all right, here's my 16. That's a little bit of a different approach. But I think I don't get burnt out because of the production. I make way more beats than I rap. It's just kind of like less pressure, sometimes. And I think the break between my raps, like I'm realizing I just need to live a little bit, so I need I need to look at my Twitter timeline for 3 months. You know what
Right,
I'm saying?
right, right. I
You know
mean,
what I'm saying?
I'm the same way, bro. Same way here, man. I you can't rush me to do nothing like at
Right.
all. Like
Oh,
I
I know.
always, I work all my time, man, and I gotta feel great about the music before it comes out. If it doesn't feel great to me,
Right.
from a fan standpoint, I can walk away from it and just be like, yo, I did that shit because I don't know about you, but not that I hate hearing my voice, but it's my voice. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah, yeah. You hear it
And
all the time. And I think part of like me slowing down as far as like making raps, I feel like and I kind of follow the analytics. People say like, oh, it's not about the numbers or whatever. But to an extent it is. You know what I'm saying? I can go back on a random day and I'm like, all right, well, you know, in the last week, there was still X amount of streams on Marvin Chronicles. That says to me that either people are finding it or they're replaying it. You know what I'm saying? And that alone makes me feel like, all right, this got some lasting power. It's in some rotations. And then you check to see if it's hitting playlists, whether it's like a personal playlist or a big playlist. Like if you feeling any of it enough to put it on like when I make a playlist, at least to me, it's special. Whether it's to hit the gym, whether it's um a type of mood you in, whatever. Like you listen to the song and you designate it to an area where you wanted to put it. That alone is special to me. You know what I'm saying? Um, so I follow the analytics, and then like I'm more into just kind of like taking my time. I've been working on um less of the braggadocious raps and more of the tapping in creative side. So that's another reason I'm going to be slowing down a little bit too, just to kind of create a better feel for who I am. I think I started that a little bit on Trifecta. I got some really good feedback on, letting people know who I am a little bit more. So, so I'm
yeah,
being a little bit more precise with that and just taking my time.
man, I want to let people know less of who I am. I'm gonna that's the opposite, yo. Like, 'cause I'll just be like, man, I don't want to be known as emo man, you know.
Right.
So it's just
I
like
mean, there's a
finding that
balance. Like,
balance.
yeah, you gotta talk on the record sometimes. You gotta let people like it's just part of the art, right?
Right, right, right.
You know what I'm saying? So again, to your burnout question, I think producing helps me not get burned out with music.
Yeah, same here. With with the show, with getting into producing, trying to put together a compilation album, an EP, album. Always working
Hmm.
on music. I got tons of music, that I haven't put out yet. You know what I mean? But it's always a work in progress and getting better at all of those areas.
For sure.
And incorporating the merch, building a website. You know what I mean? That takes a lot of time out of your busy schedule, especially when this isn't your 9 to 5. You know what I mean? Your nine to
Right.
five just consumes your time just because it is, and your family, having a family as well. So fitting that in, I find doing a lot of things for me helps me creatively, because when I'm in a rut producing, then I could line up and be, a recorder, an engineer, rapper. I find joy in that at times. And then
That's
I can
exactly where I'm
go
at. Yeah.
you know what I mean, do a podcast. I enjoy talking to people about things that I like to talk about, which is music, sports, and stuff like that. So then I can kind
Right.
of dive in this when I want to take a little bit of production, when the beats ain't coming out right, or the raps ain't coming out
Hmm.
right. There's not enough emotion or whatever it may be. I like to move, you know what I mean? And that helps me, stay balanced, because I'm just not into one thing. Like, I'll go do a DJ gig, for
Right.
Christmas. Like, I got 2, 3 DJ gigs for around holiday parties. Like, no people don't even know I do that. You know what I mean? But
Right.
it's fun, man. It's all incorporating things that I like to do. So to me, it's never work. It can be work at times, when you got deadlines and
Of
you
course.
gotta get a lot of artists together, especially when you're doing a compilation and stuff like that. That's tough, to get people along on that. But man, I just enjoy it, man. I enjoy being busy. The balance part of it, man, with the family, man. How do you do that? For people out there trying to figure that part out, because the support at the crib. I think we talked about this a couple episodes ago. with you. I believe it came up, but how do you do that with the support or lack of support? How do you navigate that?
I figured out on weeknights my kids are down pretty early. You know what I'm saying? Maybe like 8:30 I get both of them down, but at that point is if I got the energy to do it. I definitely got time. You know what I'm saying? So now it's a matter of, do I want to go in the basement and record that? Now, if I had to physically go to a studio, then that would be a whole different thing.
Right.
So a lot of time is like, can I muster up the energy to go down and take some time to record? As far as beats go, I mean the same thing. Like I could do a beat at night. I tweeted this the other day. Like I make my best beats on Saturday mornings. I don't know why. Samples just sound better. I don't know what it is. I think it's a little bit of clarity of just getting a little bit of extra sleep or whatever the case is. Having a fresh mind or whatever the case is. But Saturday mornings. Typically I make a beat every Saturday morning after breakfast. My kids will be in the basement doing their thing. I'll take a little time to make a beat. So, and they almost know what I'm about to do. Like when we finish breakfast, I'm going over to the MPC. They go, and then I'll go to the gym. So it's kind of like a routine. So I got the time. It's about mustering up the energy at the end of the night a lot of times.
Yeah, for me, it's about what you hit on as a routine. It's just like, if you start doing something enough, even if your significant other don't really support it, if you do it enough over time, they're gonna start to realize like, okay, what you going to, my kids things is that you going to the podcast room, and they kind of know this is where I'll be for the time being. Sometimes I'm just tinkering around and just not really accomplishing a whole lot as far as a beat or something with the pod. Right. But I'm learning something. I say 90% of the time I'm not actually doing. I'm just learning something. But the fact that I'm in here at a certain time every Saturday, like you said, I'm normally in the evening because I got to get the kids out the way so that I can accomplish my husband and dad duties, get them out the way, whatever fun thing they want to do. I do the family thing first, and then I get to me. And that allows me to create guilt-free in my instance.
For sure. Yeah,
in my instance. Yep. You know what I mean? Because man, once you get in that groove, man, you could literally be on that MP for hours, you know what I mean, and just lose track of time. So that's kind of what I do, is just establish a routine for my family to know I'm doing my thing.
Right. Yeah.
All right.
Same.
I'm trying to tell them, I've been different.
Yo, Creed, we got one, homie.
Time to take the cloak off, family is the bad guy. Woke up aggravated on my bad side. Separate me from them, I am the franchise. Close circle, damn right, I am anti. Coming back for what's owed to me, been an OG, nigga,